Hey guys, Crypto Sniper here, and Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Back on that chart again. Just going to do a bit of a review quickly before we come back to this chart of YouTube. A lot of folk always seem to get really triggered or provoked when I talk on Ethereum. If you make money on something once, it seems you marry the damn thing. You've got to remember everything has its time and can be off for a while, and it has just not been a performer since May. Some of these comments, for example, sorry to disappoint you, but ETH is $326. When you're putting the fear according to your technical analysis, don't forget a bit of integrity will go a long way. Luckily, you don't have a big community, and from today onwards, one less. Okay, so I'm saying goodbye to Mr. Farbod Faraknia. Thanks for popping by, Farbod. A couple of other folk that are pretty upset. You were wrong, lol. Don't you think that ETH will double or triple until end of January? Warrior Body is having a lol at my expense. Good for you, buddy. Usually spot on, but looks like this one's done a U-turn. No, people don't understand the discussion of what we're doing, and there's more comments like that, and it's okay. You know, when you do a YouTube and you go public and you try to do your best for people for free, there's kind of people that sometimes forget that you're putting time and effort, and that you aren't going to be always right, and often aren't. But in this case, I'm afraid I just have to disagree. I've done a few clips saying why you should be on Bitcoin, not Ethereum, utilizing the HVF method, and that there's the likelihood of continuation to downside versus Bitcoin for Ethereum. Now, because we have one pumpy day here after running a second interim, the fanboys will come out and go mad and get all excited. As I explained in the videos, it is invalidated and we will be proven as being inaccurate, and the continuation hypothesis and assumption will have failed if that level that I've highlighted there is run. That is 71645. One swallow, I'm afraid, does not a summer make, particularly if it comes after a second interim of an inverted HVF. What did you get? Selling wicks, selling wicks, selling wicks. If it were more highly located, that would be a huge shooting star, and we are trading down today on the daily. This is a call for Ethereum, as I said, and this is on Bitfinex, which has a slightly less extreme target than the Poloniex exchange. Remember, you get different targets subject to the exchange depending on what price action you're getting on the individual exchange. Trade and draw the pattern for the exchange that you are on, that you are holding. This has a target of 4.8's. I am still standing out here and saying for Bitfinex, this particular exchange, I, on balance of probabilities, expect the 4.8 level as per the target number on the right hand side that you can see here to be run on the downside. This is the reason why I've stated Bitcoin is the coin to be holding at this moment, not Ethereum. But as I say, people will say what they want to say, and they'll accept what they want to accept. We have a methodology. Does the methodology give you 100% outcomes? Absolutely it doesn't. Does it generally put you on the balance of probabilities continuation methodology approach more regularly accurate rather than right, which is a highly loaded emotional ego word? Does it generally lead to you on balance of probabilities being more regularly accurate than calling reversal? The answer, in my view, humbly put to you, is broadly yes, it will. Not 100% success rate. So for me, the current and following price action, despite that being an unpleasant candle for you if you're on the short side of Ethereum and holding Bitcoin, is no real follow through. We did not even return to funnel. With that level of rejection, you could have expected it, but there was clearly an absence of bid for Ethereum that saw it spill at its extremist points right down there. You rallied back up here and you're now holding here, and this is typical churning price behavior that you would see at a second interim, a prominent second interim. If you want to learn more about the methodology and where the interims come from, etc., you would need to get in touch on themarketsniper.com and look at the products that are available and see how and why we do what we do. Going on further on the shorter time frame, What you actually had was a low there, a rally, and we've now gone really low vol and we're dipping to the downside. Does it mean it's about to necessarily spill all the way? It doesn't have to. It could still rally right up to this funnel. It's just looking less likely at this point, and it still could run this stop and invalidate this, and we would be inaccurate. But the probability play is to be long the Bitcoin at the expense of the Ethereum. Why? Because we have a methodology, a structure, and a pattern that is backing us up for that. This, by the way, is what's known as a rising wedge, and it performed quite well after an initial break. This is not bullish behavior. When you get a spill of this nature, you then get a weak grind with a squeeze, and then you spill even further. Such was the extremity of that spill. Yeah, you got a bit of a reaction with some volume coming through. Where's it pumped through? Has it even taken back the level that it rose back to on the rising wedge at 6.3? No, it hasn't. In fact, it's come up once and failed. It's come up to the same level at 6.2 and failed back down again, and is actually making a lower low as we speak. So once again, as I say, trade the probability and the methodology, or your own, and stick to it, or come to a community and group where we have a very powerful, well-established methodology, and you can come to the same conclusions yourselves. I'm delighted to have the community I have. I'm not going to miss our friend Fowd too much, I'm afraid. I'm not for everybody. What we do is not for most people. It's a probability-based assessment of some common sense, and I consider my integrity to be of a very high standard. So thanks, Fowd, but I don't think you understand what we're doing, and probably you should go follow some forum board, and good luck to you. Okay, that's my somewhat feisty strike back and comment on Ethereum and Bitcoin. As I say, we still aren't proven accurate, and neither are we proven inaccurate, but for where we're standing now, I'm quite comfortable with the view of our current performance on this technically as a charting, and I would expect further downside, and there could be another spill much like what we've had here. What will be the drivers, what the fundamental narrative, what the story will be? You guys are often better informed than me on those stories. I don't have time for the gossip boards. I trade what I see. I find out the reason after, and I'm comfortable with that because I've been doing this for many years. This is Francis, the Market Sniper, talking to you about Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Good luck. Make your own decisions. Be a big boy. Take your own trades and accept the outcomes, and recognize there are no guarantees in anything. Thank you very much.